Pajahure mana shinandanandana abhaya charanara vindare
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Tavaho e bhava sindhure
Taro e bhava sindhure
Atrapa patrapa veshana aitina jamani jagire
Tasita atrapa patrapa rishana aitina jamini jagire
Ipale se venu kripana durajana
Ipale se venu kripana durajana
Chapala sukala pala dire
Chapala sukala pala dire
Dana jovana putra parechana itaki ache pavati tire
Dana jovana putra parijana itake ache para
Kamala dala jala jivana thala mala
Kamala dala jala jivana thala mala
Bajahu hari pada niti re
Bajahu hari pada niti re
Yavana kirtana smavana vandana pada sevana dasare
Shavana kirtana smarana vandana pada sevana dasyare
Puja sakhi jana atmane vedana
Pujana sakti jana atmani vedana
Govinda das abhilasare
Govinda dasa abhilasare
Achahure manashinandanandana apaya chaudanava sindare
Achahure manashinandanandana apaya charanara vindare
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Tavaho e bhava sindhure
Taro e bhava sindhure
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Wonderful. Joy. Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to our morning program here in London. And for the past couple of days, we've only read from the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So today we will begin with some affectionate guidance, always necessary. This book of Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and we're coming to the end, just a few more pages, and we're going to begin we're on the excerpts from letters, and we're on page 261. Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. So we'll begin there. It's an excerpt from a lesson, so from a letter. So we don't know everything, it's just part. So it begins, Gurudev writing, concerning your question, if we try to think or hear about the Ācārya-lila, we will only increase our mood in the line of sahajism and nothing else. From the first shloka of the Prema Bhakti Chandrika describing the waking of Radha Govinda, all our ideas will go in a mundane way. What our brain will think, that all will be mundane. But what is really within, that is not mundane. It is completely different. If you try to think of it, you will only become bound within your misconception. For us to sing the songs or anything, it is all artificial. It is not necessary to think anything artificial about Krishna-lila. So Gurudev just saying it plainly. We have heard many beautiful pastimes of Krishna-lila, but Ācārya-lila is not even 1% of that. We are not feeling any enthusiasm for it. We will not think about it. What we have is so much more. Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, who is in the line of my Guru Devas, has composed it, and for that we will honor it, but from afar. We will pray to Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur that one day it will reveal perfectly in our heart. And this is our prayer, and in this way we will honor that Leela. Living within our mundane position, it is not necessary for us to dissect the pastimes of Krishna-lila, and it is not necessary to think good or bad about it. Only chant the maha-mantra and the glories of Guru-Gauranga, and it will reveal within your heart. It is not good to try to imagine anything about the Ācārya-lila. Imagination is mundane. But if any qualified, worshipable Vaishnava wants to hear from some person for his own bhajan purpose, if any qualified, worshipable Vaishnava wants to hear from some person for his own bhajan purpose, such as in the case of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, calling Sripad Jajava Maharaj from Benares to Puri, so his divine grace could hear the Ācārya-lila in the form of a song, that will be service for that person to him. Srila Gaura-Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj gave a very good example. It is like entering into a labor room where having no child within the womb, and acting out the actions of labor, producing the many sounds. The sound may be the same, but it will not produce a child. First, it is necessary to go stage by stage, and when the labor pain will come, then it is the real and proper time. Before that, you will get nothing. For the spiritual growth of the sincere practitioners, it will be best for them to read our Mutt's publications. Through his own divine perception, Srila Guru Maharaj presented the nectar from the scriptures to us in a most generous, clear, and practical way, so that we would be able to gain the nourishment contained in them. If we try to understand everything on our own, we will only become confused and misguided. Very important. Very important to follow closely to Guru Maharaj. There's so many societies, there's so many different flavors and personalities within the wider Vaishnava world, and we are giving honor and respect to all of those, but we want to stay very close to Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, because they are protecting us and they are giving the highest thing in the most perfect and suitable way for us. So wonderful. So that was one little section, and we'll read one more section, and then this chapter will be complete. So this is another letter. In this age, after the disappearance of Srila Saraswati Thakur, it's the same subject, but it appears to be a different letter. In this age, after the disappearance of Srila Saraswati Thakur, we see that some groups are very interested for Caitanya-caritāmṛta smara. Before attaining the proper position of their devotional lives, they actually do not know that it is very dangerous for them. The qualification, that's the thing, it's dangerous, it's not.
Yeah, and that we don't even know, actually. When we're not qualified, we can't even evaluate.
No.
We think, I'm just reading this, but we don't know what we're coming in connection with, and we can't I can maybe just read this little bit.
Right.
We can't tell.
Right.
We actually.
We're only seeing it from our mundane,
Yes, so we don't know if we're already stepping into something that's already way out of.
And Gurudev was saying, if you read that, you'll just get Sahajas, and it's just
And it can be damaging, not just like in that, but like.
It can be damaging.
Well, like Gurudev said things like, you hear certain things, you can't get them out of your ear.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just you've heard it and then read
Yes.
correct. It's like.
Right.
Really.
Like the injunction not to read the Shankaracharya's Bhashya.
Right.
And we can think, well, I can just read a bit of it because I somehow don't apply to that.
I know that this is
I know this is the best thing.
Yeah.
I can read that. You be careful, mate. You're not as great as you think you are, and as immune to influences.
Bhaktisiddhanta forbade his disciples to read Govinda-lila.
Yes, we're following his we are in the family of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he then, passed that current in that mystic power transmission to Srila Guru Maharaj in the singing of Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. So they are protecting us. They're not keeping the good stuff or anything like that. Neither are they somehow less when others are like, I am Ācārya and I will sit there and talk about all these things.
Even Srila Prabhupada, if you listen to all his lectures, he's never mentioning Leelas of Radha Krishna.
Yes. Yes. Right. So they actually do not know that it is very dangerous for them. The qualification is mentioned in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Gosvāmī. Adau Shraddha tata sadhu sangha ta bhajana kriya tato nata nivritti shatato nishta ruchi shtataha. Until getting a firm position in ruchi, we remain unqualified. Kshantirabhyata kalatvam viraktimana sunyata ashabandha samutkanta namagane sadaruchi asaktishtada gunakyane pratishtadvastishtale ityadayo anubhava Shojata bhavan kurejane. Therefore we must say that before attaining anartha nivritti, strong nishta and ruchi, if anyone will try to hear such Leela of Krishna without a proper guardian, he must fall down into the garbage of sahajism imitation. First, the feeling must come through sadhana and sadhu sangha as to who is Krishna. It is necessary to know about Krishna and Krishna bhakti and to proceed in the proper channel. That channel is sadhu sangha. In this way, the practitioner will be able to see what is garbage and what is good. He will then attain attachment to Krishna. And when that is strong, he will fully leave all mundanity. That is called anartha nivritti. Otherwise, if we hear Krishna-lila, our anartha will increase, but our Krishna consciousness will not. First, with sadhu sangha, we will practice through bhajana kriya, the 9 processes of devotional service. Then gradually, our ruchi will become stronger and our anartha will go out. All will come through sadhu sangha, the association of a qualified sadhu. There are also different gradations of sadhus. If we associate with the madhyam adhikari, we will go to that level. But if we will get the association of one who is an uttama adhikari, who comes down to the madhyam adhikari level, we will go up very quickly. When attachment is very strong, it is called rati. At that stage, to hear Astakalya-lila of Krishna will help him achieve his higher position. After ruchi, everything will be beautiful. But before that, if we hear Astakalya-lila, we will go to the garbage of sahajism. This is a fact, Gurudev said. This is a fact. Anartha nivritti is like having passed the matriculation exams, where all subjects were studied. Thereafter, entering into the specialized stream of progress, such as into the arts or sciences. So up until anartha nivritti, one must practice all subjects, then specialize according to his shraddha and ruchi. Otherwise, our anartha will increase. Lust in Sanskrit is called manobhav. In other words, it is growing in the mind. When the mind is polluted, the body will become polluted. The main principle is attachment to Krishna. If that is real, he is qualified to hear from a qualified guru. This is the general method of practicing procedure. And there's one little last section to finish the chapter. I thought it was all one piece, but it is in fact, well, there's a line between, so I guess it's from a different letter and a different subject. But we'll finish this Excerpts from Letters chapter as we're here. And Gurudev says, living with Srimad Mahaprabhu were so many great followers. He, as an Ācārya, practiced Krishna consciousness and spread it all over the world. Especially the human section was so enlightened through his divine preaching. But after Mahaprabhu, someone had to be the leader, the successor. And he clearly gave that charge to Srila Rupa Goswami. In a similar way, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada gave the charge to Srila Guru Maharaj by having him sing the power-transmitting song Sri Rupa Manjari Pada in the presence of many of Srila Guru Maharaj's senior and junior godbrothers. In this way, Srila Saraswati Thakur gave some hint that Srila Guru Maharaj was to continue the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, and through this, they all understood it. After the disappearance of Srila Saraswati Thakur, most of those who required sannyas came to Srila Guru Maharaj to receive it. This is the example in this age of what Mahaprabhu had to choose, and he chose Rupa Goswami. Saraswati Thakur in this age chose Srila Sridhar Maharaj. In the time of Srimad Mahaprabhu, there were many stalwart devotees and many who were like the gurus of Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Ramananda Rai, Sri Swarup Damodar were in the highest position. In Jagannath Puri, Srimad Mahaprabhu presented Srila Rupa Goswami as a student successor in an assembly of his associates. There, many of Srila Rupa Goswami's seniors and juniors were present. Mahaprabhu previously had fully blessed him and told the others to also examine him. All were amazed with his qualification and thought it to be only possible, his qualification, through the blessings of Mahaprabhu. Srimad Mahaprabhu said, yes, I have given my full blessings to him, and you also give him your blessings. In this way, they could all understand that Mahaprabhu was arranging for Srila Rupa Goswami to take the charge of continuing his sampradaya. Later we can see that with his respectful guidance, the Goswamis and others happily spent their unique divine preaching life. From one river, many channels will come, but they will not all be named the same. Many channels come from the Ganga, but the Ganga river herself is flowing in one channel. Similarly, Mahaprabhu's line is flowing through the channel of Srila Rupa Goswami. Many were maybe more qualified and senior to Rupa Goswami, but Mahaprabhu gave to him the charge of continuing his sampradaya. For that, all the Goswamis avoided their own sampradayas, identified by their names. Even though they had many disciples, they directed them all to the line of Sri Rupanuga. We can see this in Gaura-lila, we can see this in Gaura-lila, but when its manifestation we can see in Krishna-lila, there also the internal service hankering of the whole group of manjaris is directed automatically to do the exclusive service of Sri Radha Govinda under the guidance of Sri Rupa Manjari. I think there might be a mistake in that sentence. We can see this in Gaura-lila, but when it's manifestation, we can see in Krishna-lila.
Yeah,
But
that's when we can
yes,
see that manifest.
yes, I think that's what it means. But anyway. So we see that, we see it in Guru-lila and in Krishna-lila. There also, the internal service hankering of the whole group of manjaris is directed automatically to the exclusive service of Sri Radha Govinda under the guidance of Sri Rupa Manjari. Srila Guru Maharaj gave a very nice example. In a family, both parents are superior to the son, and both are respected by him. The father is the proprietor over the whole family, including the mother, but when the son comes to give his respects to them, first he goes to the mother and then to the father. When the father dies, all the property does not go to the mother, although she is in a higher and more respected position, but all goes to the son. For this example, we can understand something about the line of succession. In other words, you can't figure it out. It's another example of you can't figure it out by your estimation of seniority, junior, because it's divine will. So it can't be calculated. And then Gurudev says, how much can I express? I cannot say in English, but these are the facts. I think it is best that we will be cautious with these high and deep matters and not try to enter them very quickly without maturity. You try to understand the answers I've given, and with the guidance of our Mat's books, you proceed carefully in your noble desire to practice and distribute Sriman Mahaprabhu's teachings. Very good, solid, down-to-earth advice at the end. To continue your noble desire. Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Your noble desire to practice and distribute Sriman Mahaprabhu's teaching. So go on happily. And we have so much guidance. And not only is it guidance, but it is affectionate guidance. And then, so tomorrow there's just a very short section at the end, just little bits called treasures. So we will leave affectionate guidance there, and we'll just read a few verses just to honor Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. And we left in a very happy place, and Maharprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas and Damodar, everyone's taken prasadam in the house, and Mahaprabhu's received nourishment from his associates, joking with them, and he's taken prasadam, wonderful prasadam cooked by Sita Thakurani, and he's been laid down on a comfortable bed and been given nice things to chew and a nice fragrant garland and some, anyway, so they're very happy. It was Mukunda with Haridas, not Maya. So we last read, thereupon Advaita Ācārya took prasadam with Mukunda and Haridas, and they all wholeheartedly ate as much as they desired. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya. So we're beginning on text 108. How auspicious. Hare Krishna. Shantipurera Loka Shuni Prabhuda Agaman, Dekitaila Loka Prabhuda Charan. When the people of Shantipur heard that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying there, they all immediately came to see his lotus feet. Hari Hari Bola Loka, Anandita Chamatkara Paila Prabhuda, Shaundarya Dekina. Being very pleased, yes, pleased, Anandita is translated here as pleased. Being very pleased, all the people loudly began to shout the holy name of the Lord. Hari, Hari! Indeed, they became struck with wonder upon seeing the beauty of the Lord. They got chamatkar. Gaura Dea Kanti Shurya Jinya Ujvala Arunavastra Kantita Kari Jalamala. They saw Mahaprabhu's very fair complexioned body and his bright luster, which conquered the brilliance of the sun. Over and over, this was the beauty. Over and above this was the beauty of the saffron garments that glittered upon his body. Aisha Jaya Loka She Nahi Samadhan Lokera Sangatte Dina Haila Vasan. People came and went with great pleasure. There was no calculating how many people assembled there before the day was over. Shandyate Ācārya Arambila Sankirtan Ācārya Nachena Prabhu Kṛṣṇadāsa. As soon as it was evening, Advaita Ācārya began Sankirtan. He even began to dance himself, and the Lord saw the performance. Nityananda Gosai Bhuli Ācārya Darina Haridasa Pache Nache Harasitaya. When Advaita Ācārya began to dance, Nityananda Prabhu began dancing behind him. Haridas Thakur, being very pleased, also began dancing behind him. Kikaiva se Shakya Ajuka Ananda Ora Chiradina Madhava Mandira Mora. Advaita Ācārya said, "My dear friends, what shall I say? Today I have received the highest transcendental pleasure. After many, many days, Lord Krishna is in my house. Madhava Mandire Mora. Madhava is in my temple, my house." Epada Gayaya Hashe Karina Natana Sveda Kampa Pulakashu Hunkara Gajana. Advaita Ācārya led the Sankirtan party, and with great pleasure he sang this verse. There was a manifestation of ecstatic perspiration, shivering, raised hairs, tears in the eyes, and sometimes thundering and bellowing. Fire, fire, Kabu Prabhuda, Dharana Charana, Charana Dariya Prabhude, Bhalena Vachana. While dancing, Advaita Ācārya would sometimes turn around and around and catch the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Ācārya would then speak to him as follows. Anekadina tumi bhore badaila baniya gharate panachayeva rakhibe vandiya. Advaita Ācārya would say, "Many days you escaped me by bluffing. Now I have you in my home and I will keep you bound up." Etabale Ācārya Anande Karenanatana Praharikarachi Ācārya Kaila Sankirtana. So speaking, Advaita Ācārya performed congregational chanting, also known as Sankirtan, with great pleasure for 3 hours that night and danced all the time. Premana utkanta prabhuda nai Krishna sangha virahi varila prema jvala rataranga. When Advaita Ācārya danced in that way, Mahaprabhu felt ecstatic love for Krishna, and because of his separation, the waves and flames of love increased. Vyakulahaya Prabhu bhumite parila, goshadaki Ācārya nitya sambharila. Being agitated by the ecstasy, Mahaprabhu suddenly fell to the ground. Seeing this, Advaita Ācārya stopped dancing. Prabhuda antara mukunda jane bhalamate bhavera sadrisha pada lagila gaite. When Mukunda saw the ecstasy of Mahaprabhu, he understood the feelings of the Lord and began to sing many verses augmenting the force of the Lord's ecstasy. Ācārya utaila Prabhu ke karite natana padashuni Prabhuda angana jayadharana. Advaita Ācārya raised the body of Mahaprabhu to help him dance. But the Lord, after hearing the verses sung by Mukunda, could not be held due to his bodily symptoms. Ashru, Kampa, Pulaka, Speda, Gad, can't even say it, Gada, Vachana. Kshana Ute, Kshana Pare, Kshanika Rodana. Tears fell from his eyes and his whole body trembled. His bodily hairs stood on air, he perspired heavily, and his words faltered. Sometimes he stood, and sometimes he fell, and sometimes he cried. Haha prana priya saki kina haila more kanu prema vishvamora tanu mane jare. Mukunda sang, "My dear intimate friend, what has not happened to me? Due to the effects of poison of love for Krishna, my body and mind have been severely afflicted. Rachidina poremana sayasti na pang jangela kanupang ta uriya udijan." My feeling is like this. My mind burns day and night, and I can get no rest. If there was some place I could go to meet Krishna, I would immediately fly there. Etapada gaya mukunda madhurya susvari shunya prabhuda chitta antare vidare. Antare vidare. This verse was sung by Mukunda in a very sweet voice. But as soon as Mahaprabhu heard this voice, his mind went to pieces. Antare, within, vidare, split into pieces. Nirveda, Vishada, Harsha, Chapalya, Garva, Danya, Prabhura Sahita, Yuddha, Kari, Bhava, Shainya. The transcendental ecstatic symptoms of disappointment, moroseness, pleasure, restlessness, pride, and humility all began to fight like soldiers within the Lord. Jara jara haila Prabhu bhavara prahare bhumite parala svasha naika sharire. The entire body of Mahaprabhu began to totter. Jara jara, jara jara, tottering. The entire body of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to totter due to the onslaught of various ecstatic symptoms. As a result, he immediately fell to the ground and his breathing almost stopped. Dekhiya chintita haila jatta bhaktagan, achambite ute Prabhu karyaga jan. Upon seeing the condition of the Lord, all the devotees became very anxious. Then suddenly the Lord got up and began to make thundering sounds. Bal bala bale nache anande vivala. Bhujanana jaya bhava taranga prabhala. Upon standing up, the Lord said, "Go on speaking, go on speaking, go on speaking." Thus he began to dance, overwhelmed with pleasure. No one could understand the strong waves of this ecstasy. Nityananda Sanghe Buddha Prabhu ke Dariya Ācārya Haridasa Buddha Pacheta Nachia. Lord Nityananda began to walk with Maharprabhu to see that he would not fall, and Advaita Ācārya and Haridas Thakur followed them dancing. E mata prabhareka nache prabhurange kabuhasha kabo vishada bhavara tarange. In this way, the Lord danced for at least 3 hours. Sometimes the symptoms of ecstasy were visible, including pleasure, moroseness, and many other waves of ecstatic, emotional love. Tina dina upavashe karya bhojana udhanna nityete prabhuda haila parishrama. The Lord had been fasting for 3 days, and after that period he took eatables sumptuously. Thus, when he danced and jumped high, he became a little fatigued. He'd been fasting for 3 days, and now he'd eaten very sumptuously. So then when he danced and jumped high, he became a little fatigued. Tabu tana na jane shrama prema vishtai Nityananda Mahaprabhuke rakila dariya. Being fully absorbed in love of Godhead, he could not understand his fatigue. But Nityananda Prabhu, catching him, stopped his dancing. Ācārya gosai tabi rakila kirtana nana seva kari Prabhu ke karaila shayana. Although the Lord was fatigued, Nityananda Prabhu kept him steady by holding him. At that time, Advaita Ācārya suspended the chanting, and by rendering various service to the Lord, made him lie down to take rest. Emata dasa dina bhojana kirtana ekarupa kare kare prabhura sevana. For 10 continuous days, Advaita Ācārya held feasting and chanting in the evening. He served the Lord in this way without any change. So this went on for 10 days. Feasting in the day and chanting in the night. And many other services to facilitate that and to serve the Lord. And okay, let's end there then, because I'm going on a little, a new, anyway. So, Jai, Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Srila Kṛṣṇadāsa Kavirāja Gosvāmī ki Jai, and Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, who rendered this great literature into the English and so many other languages. Ki Jai. Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Gopal Govinda Ram Shimaru Siddha Girirari Gopinath Madhya-līlā
Shri Guru-Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Kṛṣṇadāsa Kavirāja Gosvāmī Ki Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Rupa Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Advaita Ācārya Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki Jai. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta London Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All the worldwide devotees Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Prema